Hello, welcome back to my channel and to another reaction video. This time we're checking out another death battle. This is for Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai.
Among the soldiers of history, the samurai is one of the most prestigious and dangerous.
So let's pit two of the best of them in a fight to the death.
Samurai Jack, the warrior prince lost in time.
And
I
Afro
remember seeing
Samurai,
a few
who's
episodes
one
of
cold-blooded mother effer.
Samurai
He's
Jack,
Wiz
but-
and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I think Samurai Jack stories he was sent into the future.
Long ago, in a distant land,
guess we'll see now.
Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness, unleashed an unspeakable evil.
Yeah, I
But
remember
a
that.
foolish samurai warrior wielding a magic sword stepped forth to oppose me. I mean him.
And that nameless samurai became known as Jack.
Jack was out.
Jack.
Yo, Jack was
Jack.
Doesn't really strike fear into your enemies.
Young Jack was the son of a Japanese emperor who had imprisoned Aku years before. However, upon Aku's return, the emperor and his army were quickly defeated. The last of all hope remained in the hands of his son.
Oh, look how small he is. Well, to prep for beating the snot out of Aku, little Jack traveled the world, training with the best of the best.
Most notably, he learned
Send to
horseback
future
riding from a
backup.
sheikh, staff fighting in Africa, wrestling from gladiators, axe throwing from a Russian boyar, mounted combat from the Mongols, martial arts from Shaolin monks, and
And archery from freaking Robin Hood! You know, everyone's favorite talking fox. Ooh, da lolly.
wrong Robin Hood.
That's your opinion.
Jack's progress was exceptional. At just 8 years old, he defended a whole village from a band of marauders.
All before he could even legally drink the good stuff. 17 years later, he was ready for the final boss. He just needed one more thing. His pajamas.
No. His katana.
Katana, pajama, tomato, Alfredo. It's all the same. But before Jack could put his training to good use, Aku pulled a bitch move and zapped him hundreds of years into the future.
What a waste. Just like when you spend 4 sleepless years struggling through college and then find out too late that nobody cares about your English major.
I thought you graduated from the School of Evil Science or something.
Well, you still have to pick a major.
Should have chose a more practical one, Wiz, like mine. Anyway, even though he was trapped in the future, Jack stuck to his mission to get back to the past and take down Aku. And he had the right weapon for the job.
See, Aku cannot be harmed by conventional means. Thus, a special blade was forged by gods from Norse, Egyptian, and Hindu pantheons. This mystic sword is nearly unbreakable and absolutely incorruptible.
And boy, is Jack's katana an extremely effective weapon.
It can absorb and redirect energy, including fire, vaporize beings of evil, and slice through
Basically, it
nearly
can
any
do whatever
substance,
the
even adamantium.
plot
The Wolverine
requires
super
for
metal? Why is
him to
that
beat the
there?
bad guy.
Probably just coincidental naming, but it is shown to be stronger than steel.
Of course it is. So the sword's pretty awesome, but so is Jack. He's strong enough to push over this giant pillar, tough enough to survive a fall from orbit, and fast enough to defeat 6 bounty hunters in the time it took for 1 drop of water to hit the ground. By timing the drop, all this had to have taken place in about 1/3 of a second. He's like a ninja samurai. Ninja Mirai.
Actually, he is trained in ninjutsu, which probably helped when he was forced to dodge beams of sunlight. For this one in particular, it's clear Jack began dodging after the beam was fired. By examining both Jack and the beam's movement frame by frame, we've concluded his highest reaction speeds must be nearly 70% the speed of light.
Damn, that's fast. What can he do? Next thing you'll tell me he has the power to fly or something.
Well, Jack can't fly, but he did learn how to
jump good.
Not really funny, but
guess that. By strapping a giant boulder on his back, which compared to his height we can determine to weigh 39 tons, Jack learned how to leap high enough to clear these trees.
Crouching tiger, hidden samurai. These trees are pretty big, and this jungle has a bunch of these ugly baboons running around. And if I were a betting man, which I am, I'd say that this is the African rainforest, where the average tree is about 130 feet tall. Tips on Jack from my basketball team. Guy's got hops.
We haven't even mentioned the time he survived several exploding missiles with his friend, the Scotsman.
Why Why does he look so familiar? Well, I like him.
With so much talent, it was only a matter of time until Jack found his way home and defeated Aku once and for all. But it took a lot longer.
I feel like
than
I
it
need to go
probably
back
should
and
have.
watch this
50 years, in fact.
series.
Yeah, good thing time travel makes you stop aging.
That's
for some
simple
reason.
animation,
but
but I
Jack's
mean,
a good-hearted
it works.
soul, like a Boy Scout who hasn't discovered Twitter yet.
He can be pretty gullible when it comes to more devious opponents. Also, he continues to prolong his lonely journey over and over just because he frequently puts the needs of others before his own. Still, the forces of evil should watch out for Samurai Jack.
Who else wants some?
The stories that surround the two sacred headbands are as many as the men who died in their pursuit.
What's so special about some strips of head cloth?
Legend says they were created by the gods, or they can grant the wearer supernatural powers. But in truth, the headbands only bring pain and
I have not
loss.
seen this anime, by the
Such
way.
was the case with Afro Samurai.
Wait, did his parents really call him Afro? Talk about setting big expectations.
Well, no, it's a nickname, but even if they did, have you seen his dad? I think they knew what to expect.
Damn, just look at it. Oh, and hey look, he's got the #1 headband.
Here's how this works. The person who wears the #1 headband is said to rule the world, and the only person who can challenge the #1 is whoever possesses the #2. In contrast, anybody can challenge the owner of the #2 for the right to wear that headband, and thus gain the right to challenge the #1.
So, like, you just work your way up so that only one guy in the world can challenge you? So where do I get one of these headbands? Then no one will mess with me.
Actually, the
This seems like a
opposite
really
would probably
brutal
happen,
anime,
which young
and the
Afro
animation
witnessed
style
firsthand
is
when some
sick.
freak named Justice showed up with the #2 and killed his father right in front of him.
Why does this always happen? You know, I always thought parenting was the hardest thing about being a dad, but at this point, I think it's just actually staying alive if your kid's ever gonna do anything great. Or just sticking around for them.
Despite knowing that he was effectively creating a future challenger, Justice left Afro alone to mourn his loss.
So, of course, Afro swore revenge and started learning swordsmanship under a swordmaster named Swordmaster. Who the hell is naming these people?
Through Swordmaster's training of sword mastery, Afro learned the traditional samurai fighting styles of Kenjutsu and Kendo.
Kenjutsu is all about how to kill an opponent as fast as possible, while Kendo is more about discipline and being zen and stuff. Naturally, Afro preferred the more kick-ass one.
Right, Swordmaster's goal was to refine Afro's body and mind, instilling upon him a sense of honor, or Bushido. But that didn't quite mesh with Afro's thirst for vengeance.
So when he found out that Swordmaster had the #2 headband all along, he knew what he had to do. And now he could take down the guy who killed his dad.
Alongside his new friend, / burden, Ninja.
Oh, come the on! Where'd this guy come from?
Now don't we look like shit? How you been, man?
Well, it's not entirely clear.
That
He's
sounded
there,
like Sam
but at the same
Jackson.
time, not there. Ninja is believed to be the guardian of the #2 headband, but all he ever really does is talk, and talk some more.
He got arrows and grenades and shit. You ain't got no chance, dude.
Though it's also possible Ninja is simply a figment of Afro's mind, brought about by psychological stress.
You know, I have an imaginary friend.
Aren't you a little old for that?
Not for Al Gundy. He's a gun who also talks to me. He tells me to do stuff.
Okay. Anyway, to be honest, calling Afro a samurai is a bit misleading. He's actually more akin to a ronin, a samurai with no master. And so, with his swordsmanship perfected, Afro wandered the world searching for justice, carrying an arsenal fit for revenge.
Including his father's sword. This super long blade has lasted through decades of battle without much issue. Perfect for kicking some ass.
He also has a steel comb, which can be a surprisingly effective offensive and defensive tool.
And since he doesn't care about that honor BS, he's not afraid to play dirty by attacking with his sandals.
But while on the road to justice, Afro's #2 headband attracted all manner of dangerous enemies. Luckily, he's more than capable of dealing with each and every one of them.
He's strong enough to cut other swords in half, throw his sheath through another guy's throat, and even tear off metal arms.
Pretty impressive, as many modern metals have tensile strength as high as 80,000 pounds per square inch.
Afro is fast enough to cut bullets out of thin air, and even a laser beam.
I should note that it's not a plasma-based beam. It bounces off reflective surfaces, doesn't explode upon contact, and it's literally labeled a laser. This means Afro blocked a beam that moved as fast as light, more than 670 million miles per hour.
Get this, that laser beam came from a robot version of Afro. Talk about metal! This Afro droid could easily smash up a car, and our boy Afro just tore it apart! He's survived getting hit by rockets, including this RPG that fragmented a giant cliff face.
RPG in a backpack?
I think I smell math coming.
This tree nearby is most likely a Japanese mountain ash, which can sometimes grow as high as 30 feet. With that in mind, we compared its height to the fragmentation created by the explosion, and compared the resulting surface area to the sheer force of granite. With this, we deduced the RPG's highest possible explosive yield must be around 72 tons of TNT.
Damn, what kind of mega rocket launcher are these guys packing? And where do I get it?
Many stood in his way, and Afro didn't get through them all unscathed.
But by the end, he cut down justice, took his revenge in hand, and proved to the world that Afro Samurai is #1.
I mean, I haven't seen the anime, so that was a bit of a spoiler.
Why you gotta kill me?
Nothing personal. It's just revenge.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, looking at these swords makes me want to sharpen my knives.
I don't know, Samurai Jack seemed to have a magic sword. So. I don't know, Afro Samurai seems more badass, he might win, but I don't know. I know. I'm betting my
Your sword smells
Samurai
of
Jack
blood.
is my bet to win this.
So does yours.
Fight!
Oh. Ah, you can jump back. Yep.
You jump good. Oh, thank you?
What they should be is be best friends, but... Oh no. Oh, shit, this went brutal. Oh, yeah, I know this theme.
So, like, is he gonna get his arm back, or...?
Afro was an exceptional warrior, and his skills would absolutely dominate most sword fights. However, Jack has had a lot of experience with opponents who fight dirty, and Afro could not stand up to his physical superiority.
Yeah, Afro never showed strength like how Jack lifted that 39-ton boulder.
Jack could react as fast as 70% the speed of light. Afro did block that light speed laser beam, but based on the distance between him and the Afro droid, he only needed to react around 21% the speed of light to do this, still putting him at impressive relativistic speeds, but not even half as quick as Jack.
Also, while Afro survived that mega-sized RPG explosion, don't forget how Jack survived a fall from orbit.
While it does seem the spacesuit was responsible for Jack's surviving re-entry, it certainly can't be held solely accountable for the final impact. Starting his descent from the Kármán line, or the boundary between Earth's atmosphere and space, Jack covered a distance of 62 miles in just under 7 seconds, moving well over terminal velocity.
Thanks to being propelled by exploding space beam.
Which means his top velocity was approximately 37,000 miles per hour. Adding the spacesuit's weight to his own, this means his impact force must have equaled about 19 megatons of force. Way more than anything Afro survived.
And then he just got up and walked away. Badass. In the end, Jack was just too fast, too strong, too tough, and too well trained for Afro to handle.
The winner is Samurai Jack.
Well, there you go. Finally, I guessed it right. And yeah, I said it before. I'm somewhat familiar with Samurai Jack. I've seen some episodes way back when, and I did recognize the theme at the end. I don't know anything about Afro Samurai aside from they just pretty much spoiled much of it. But yeah, it does seem like a pretty damn brutal anime. I definitely need to check that one out. And yeah, the fight was pretty damn epic. But yeah, Samurai Jack has greater feats. I mean, it's easy, you can easily get a little blindsided by the fact that Afro Samurai is a very brutal anime, while the Samurai Jack does seem like a more kid show. But yeah, and it's not like Afro Samurai didn't put up a hell of a fight. He even sliced Jack's arm off, but in return got completely sliced and diced. I did like the animation. It was very simple and it was more Samurai Jack style. I mean, I suppose it's a lot easier to do it that way. But yeah, then towards the very end, it went really super brutal, which I actually did liked. A fantastic death battle. This might be my favorite so far. But yeah, what do you guys think? Write your thoughts down below. Bench at my subscribe if you want, and I will see you in another video.